Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I'm going to share with you the brief summary I gave my members this weekend on the four major indices that I cover on a regular basis. So it's kind of a nice little month end to January. We'll see how the month of February plays out. Okay, I'm going to start off here with the side-by-side view. And this is the Dow Industrials, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq 100. These are monthly views. The Dow was up 2,000 points for the month of January. So November, big up, December down, and then we're back up here in January. But we're still lower than where we closed the end of November. Up 158 points, 159 points actually on the S&P 500. Same kind of picture, up, down, up. And really, let's see, November closed 60.32. We closed January 60.40. So we're up a whopping 8 points over the last 2 months. So it looks like a little bit of sideways. We're definitely overbought. Yeah, we'll talk about the picture here in a minute when we get down to the daily. When you look over here at the Nasdaq 100, up 466 for the month of January, a little stronger. So even though we've had this volatility in the tech stocks and everything, kind of interesting, a lot stronger in here than the S&P 500 versus the close on November. So kind of interesting picture, and the same versus the Dow Industrials. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to switch back to weekly. And now you're going to see what we did here for the week. So the Dow was up 120 points because I said it was the only one that was positive. So it gave a lot back, mainly I think because of Friday afternoon. And I'll show you that picture in a minute. Down 60.7 on the S&P, and you can see same kind of thing for this week. And then on the Nasdaq 100, down 296 points. So let's take a look at the Dow versus the transports. The transport's pretty negative, down 299 points. You can see they opened about flat, tried to rally, and then just gave it up all week. I know I showed you UPS's chart. I'm not sure what else got in the transports got whacked like that, but I'm sure the UPS, as bad as that move was a heavy influence on what was going on in the transports. So, we're continuing to have the divergence in the picture here between the two. The Dow looking really, really strong. The transports, not so much. So kind of interesting dynamic that's going on there. And a lot of times when you see that kind of creates a little bit of a question mark as to the underlying strength as to what's happening. All right, I want to take a look here at the Dow. So I've still got, here's the results of today. Okay, you can see all the data that's still in there. So here's the daily and here's the weekly that we just got done talking about. So down 337 points for the day on Friday. And pretty negative, very bearish engulfing type move. So when I look at this, I'd been wondering, I've been looking at this thinking, okay, if we're in a fifth wave, where's wave one, trying to get 5 waves, where's the second wave? Where's the pullback? I think we may have started. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is if we go to the high today and we come back, here's a 50% retracement, here's 38%. So a 50% retracement takes you down here to 43, let's just say 43,450. And so that's another 1,100 points below where we closed. So that could very easily be what we do in terms of, and again, it's not going to be a straight line. It's probably going to zigzag its way down. And let me see if let me just go to 30-minute chart. And This is probably good enough. You could see what happened in the afternoon today. Okay, so this is the middle of the day. And we're kind of hanging in there this morning, actually. Rallied the first hour and then came back second hour, rallied a little bit more the third hour, and then everything collapsed starting, basically at noon Central Time into the afternoon. And they just sold it off very, very hard. Okay, so that is the picture. That's what's going on. That's why I think we've got a little bit more to go. I just don't think this is the end of the fifth wave, the fifth minor wave. Okay, let's take a look at the SPX. Okay, here's the SPX, S&P 500, down 30.64. Also a very bearish engulfing type of candle here, engulfing completely the body of yesterday's price action. That's half the loss. I mean, if you're down 60.7, half of it occurred here on Friday. Now, I mean, we had a lot on Monday, and then we came back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then boom, start giving it back again. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, we were on the SPX. I've got an impulse wave structure. Now I know on the SPY, we were looking at this saying, well, maybe we got an ending diagonal. I know I've kept that on the SPY. I don't really like it that much. Okay, so let me go back to the SPX and let's just focus on that. Now, the problem that occurs with this wave count is in this third wave, getting 5 waves in here. This works as long as the overlap in here, if you just count the closing prices, because the close on the pullback, wave 4, the close does not overlap any closing high of wave 1. So given that the closing prices don't overlap, and given that this little fifth wave is not longer than the third wave, and I've measured it, then I'm staying with this, because this implies that we got a fifth wave underway, and I'm thinking that this move to the upside here may very well have been be part of a zigzag. So that's what I'm thinking about. So here's what I'm looking at right here. So I'm thinking that maybe the second wave is underway and we got something like this going on. Now, it's always possible that this is the second wave here, but I really don't like that because, I mean, there's really not much to that. And this looks a little zigzaggy-ish in terms of the pullback. Okay, so, and you can see that right here, right? If you go down to the 195-minute time frame, you get a little more definition. You can see the zigzag pullback in here. So that's why I think we've got a wave 2 underway. It's just a matter of how much of a move are we going to get. So we'll see what happens Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so that's where we sit here with the SPX. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq, which is interesting. Here's the down 295, 296 on the weekly, down 30 on Friday. Look how strong a move that it made on Friday. I mean, it gapped all the way up here, tried to push. I thought, man, here we go. We're going to take out these highs. It's going to cancel the scenario we're in. And then it just sold off. With that whole, it really just tanked the market in the afternoon, big time. And, I mean, we had negative ticks of almost minus 1,400 on the New York Stock Exchange and on the Nasdaq. And those are pretty big ticks. Okay, so, so where do we sit? Remember how yesterday I was talking about we're in the middle of the range? Guess what? We're still there. So after all of that, we're just still kind of sitting halfway between this high and this low. And so really we haven't gotten any further clarification on this. So I'm going to keep the wave count that we've got. I'm going to keep it. It says, okay, we're working our wave down in a wave 3. So we'll see how negative the Qs decide to get. All right, so I'm staying with that count because it hasn't given me a chance to do anything else or switch it or modify it. So that's where we sit with the NDX. Let's take a look at IWM. This was down 205 on Friday, down 221 on the week. So I was thinking we were about to get a breakout, and I really thought we were about to get there. The high today, 230.32. My entry point to go long was 230.83. We did not get it. So we're just still sitting on our hands related to any kind of calls. And then this thing sold off in the afternoon. I mean, you can see, here's the afternoon, the 3 hours. I mean, they just hammered it big time. Okay, we'll go back to the daily. So that's where we're sitting with IWM. And I continue to look at this. I thought I put something in here. That's interesting. I don't know where it is now. I continue to look at this as a wave 2 pullback. Okay, so it may be that we got something a little more complex unfolding, but I'm right now thinking that this could be the end of this wave 2, and we're trying to push higher. If that's the case, this really should not take out. I'm not expecting it to take out today's low. I'm expecting us to, turn around and head north on Monday and continue to move to the upside. So that's where we sit with IWM. Let me go back over here. Okay, that's it on that. Let's take a look at our indicators. Okay, if you felt like that video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that little subscriber button. And if you'd like more of the information on a regular basis, head on over to joehenches.net. Check out the website and check out the membership. All right, everyone have a great week.